Hey guys, what's going on? Geebuz here with another Diablo video for you guys, and this is going to cover 2.5 Season 10, the changes, and what I think and my first impressions of it. And because I didn't get to stream it this season because of personal reasons, I feel like I wanted to at least get my thoughts out on the season, on the 2.5 patch, when I've actually had the time to try it out somewhat good. So right now I'm on my barbarian that I've rolled for this season, and the first thing I want to talk about is actually the Armory, which is this thing right here. It gives you the opportunity to save up to 5 different sets and builds that you want to save, so that you can quickly switch between them. The second thing I want to talk about is the crafting materials tab. But first things first, the Armory. Like I said, you get to save up to 5 different sets depending on what you want to play. If we look at the details, this is my Immortal King 6 set bonus and Raycore 4 set, which I used to just quickly speed through bounties and rifts in the beginning until I got my Earthquake build, which is this one. And for the sake of this video, I've actually put rubies in my legs instead of diamonds as I have in this, and there's a reason for that I'm gonna get to in just a brief moment. And as you can see, all the Kanai's cube powers, you probably know how the Armory works, but I'm gonna just quickly run over it. The Kanai's cube, weapons, armor, jewelry, your skills, your passive abilities, they're all saved. So that's what you get. I have done some experimenting with Immortal King and Earthquake. It didn't work at all, so that's it. The first thing that I want to complain about, or I'm not complaining, it's just a quality of life change that can make this even better. Something that is already good, you can make it just slightly better. And it is the fact that if I go into, let's say I have Whirlwind over here, then maximum fury isn't gonna matter at all. All I want there is movement speed and strength. Offensive, I might not want cooldown reduction as my main, or one of my main stat priorities at this level, so I want to change it around a little bit. And utility, maybe I don't want area damage as one of my first priorities, but I want resource cost reduction. But if I go in here and I change, the Paragon points don't change with it. They remain the exact same as they were before you changed. I understand why, I understand the reasoning why it is like this. You constantly get new Paragon points that you have to allocate everywhere, but that still happens. You still get more points. So if I put them into Vitality and Maximum Fury for one build, and then a second build needs Strength and Movement Speed, it should change that, and all the unallocated points or unspent points should be unspent that I have to spend the next time I run with that build. That's how I feel. Like, that's a quality of life thing that I think would make it even better. The second thing that I have that is just, it might just be me, but I have realized, like I mentioned before, I have rubies in my legs right now for the purpose of this video only. And that is that if I do this, if you look at my inventory, I have nothing in my inventory. I press equip, and all of a sudden I have 3 gems in my inventory: the legendary gems and the gems that were in my legs before. So I go to the Immortal King or Raycore, I have those gems, I put them into my stash, open up the Armory again, equip, and again, there they are. I don't know if this is intentional or not, because it shouldn't be. It should be like the exact same. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You have these gems in here, and that's it, because the rest of the items don't change. Your weapons don't change, your boots don't change, your rings don't change, nothing changes except for the gems. The gems are the only thing that change from one set to the other if you have different gems in the gear. So that's something that I think could add a little bit more to it. It's not a big deal. Like I said, I'm not complaining. It's not a big deal, but it's something that, just a small quality of life change that could make something already fantastic just a little bit better. So that's all I had to say about the Armory. Armory, great. Needs just a little bit of tweaking, fine-tuning. But like I said, not complaining, just could be just a teeny tiny, just crank the notch, just one more, and that might actually do it. Second and last thing I want to talk about is the crafting materials tab. Finally, whoever decided to just be like, okay, let's do it this time. The fans have wanted this, or the players have wanted this since day one, pretty much. Let's do it. Let's give them what they want and give them a crafting materials tab. As you can see, we have from the bounties, the crafting materials, and the Hellfire crafting materials in here. It's just amazing, guys. It's just amazing to have this. They all get stacked up in here. Every time you pick something up, it tells you how many of what item you picked up. But, and here is the but, it is so good because it's easy to track. Once you learn where all of these items are, it's easy to track. How many do I have? Okay, I have 167 Death's Breath. I have 4 Corrupted Flesh Angels. I have 1268 reusable parts, and I have 0 Vials of Putridness. It clears up your inventory. It clears up your stash tab. There's no more reason not to click on a crafting material. But, and this is a rather big but, that we have also been wanting for a very, very, very long time. I think even since Diablo 3 was first released. Because when gold drops, it's automatically picked up. And that's the way it's always been in Diablo 3. In Diablo 1 and Diablo 2, you had to actually pick it up. In Diablo 1, it was even stored in your stash. Then in Diablo 2, it got a dedicated
wham, I should have to server.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
little area for your gold. And then in Diablo 3, it still got the dedicated area, but you didn't have to even pick it up. You just run over it. And now your pets pick it up even. So that's really, really good. Same thing goes for blood shards. It's picked up automatically once you run over them. Your pets don't pick those up, which I can accept. One thing that would make a really great quality of life change is that, especially now that the crafting materials have gotten their own tab, is that crafting materials are now automatically picked up whenever you run over them. This would free up so much more time so that we can focus on doing other things instead of just having to run around. Oh, it's over here. Oh, and a Death's Breath. And and a Veiled Crystal. Oh, and here's some Arcane Dust. And here's some reusable parts. Oh, we killed another guy. I have to run over here, pick that up. And then I have to run over here, pick this up, run over here, pick this up. You see how I don't want to spend my time looting crafting materials. I want to spend my time looting items that I can use to make my character faster. And especially now, since we've gotten the crafting materials tab, more so than ever is the automatic pickup of crafting materials something that we don't need, but it would certainly make a big difference because they don't take up any space anymore. So we might as well just pick them up. Like I said, there is no reason not to pick up a crafting material other than the fact that you have to click it. That's the only reason you can say, like, oh, I don't want to pick up those crafting materials. I don't care about the crafting materials. But you need the crafting materials. Yeah, but I don't want to go around and click them. And that's the way it is. A lot of people want this, and a lot of people think it's fine the way it is, which I respect as well. It is a game that requires you to grind and loot and farm. So by all means, if you want to loot and farm and grind, do it. Absolutely. There should be an option to have auto pickup enabled or disabled, so that you can choose for yourself. I do not want to pick up this automatically, or I do want to pick it up automatically. And here's the thing: if gold and blood shards were not automatically picked up, I think the majority of people who want crafting materials to be automatic pickup wouldn't have any problem with them being forced to be like interacted with to pick them up, because then nothing is automatically picked up and it's not really a problem. And I mean, if we will ever see that, we probably will see that in the future patch, like in a 2.55 or 2.6 patch, we will see that they put crafting materials very, very soon. I hope that we will see crafting materials being picked up automatically as soon as you run over them, or at least you can have it so that once you pick up an Arcane Dust lying over here, and you have, like down here, Tyrael is a Death's Breath, Lorathnar is a Veiled Crystal, and the Blacksmith is a reusable part, and here is a Arcane Dust. If I pick up that, all of these 3 items would also get picked up, just like with gems. If you pick up a ruby and there's a diamond over here, there's a topaz over here, and there's an emerald over here, but you pick up this ruby, all of those get sucked into you, and you pick up all the gems regardless of the type of gem it is. That's what I think. So like, if you can't make it so that we automatically pick up the crafting materials, the gems is one thing, because those still take up physical space in your inventory and in your stash. That's one thing, to have them not being automatically picked up. I can accept that, because gems is something that you have to sacrifice your storage space for. But when it comes to crafting materials, there's not. So that's pretty much all I had to say, really. All in all, 2.5, fantastic patch. Season 10, I've had a great time so far, so I think I'm gonna enjoy this for at least another week before I start realizing like this is just the same thing. The rose-tinted goggles are gonna start to fall off, and I'm gonna be like, oh, this is the same thing. So I'm gonna have to focus more on the GTA series or whatever. Maybe something else, I don't know. So there's nothing else that I have to add to this. No. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!